Hello and welcome to Paw Prints on the Mountain, brought to you by the Humane Society of the White Mountains. I'm your host, Mike Bosley. Joining me in just a couple moments will be the Executive Director of the Humane Society, Mrs. Deena Pace. But before we do that, it's time to get into Mike's Pet Peeves. Now, Mike's Pet Peeves is merely my opinion, not the opinion of the Humane Society, Deena, even though she may or may not agree with me. It's really just my thoughts. Today we're going to discuss the topic of canned meats. First off, the whole word just brings utter disgustingness to your mind. Canned meats. Hey man, what are you doing tonight? You want to come over and we're having dinner, some canned meats? No, I'm not coming to your place for canned meats. Now, there are some forms of acceptable canned meats. Tuna, depending on where you sit on the dolphin issue. There's Alaskan salmon. I'm an Alaskan fisherman. Canned salmon, staple. There's canned chicken. I get it. I guess it's good in a pinch. I've never used it. But the word and the whole concept is there, except for Spam. How is Spam really considered a meat? First off, no meat should ever make the same sound as cranberry sauce does coming out of the can. That is just wrong, people. Now, there's all kinds of diets throughout this world, the Atkins this and that, then the keto, they're all. Now, in them is lists of meat that you can use. And none of these lists contain the word Spam, because it's not healthy. I saw this commercial and this guy was throwing rice in it and like, hey, look, it's my healthy Spam. You're still getting 14 daily servings of sodium in one serving of Spam. Nothing you do, even the rice, is not going to make it healthy. If we're going to take away Christopher Columbus, I'll meet you halfway. Let's take away Spam and just move on with history. That's my take on it. What I think is more disgusting than Spam is this new trend that we've seen recently throughout the nation of people returning the animals that they adopted during the pandemic back to the shelters. When you adopt an animal, whether it be from the Humane Society or wherever you may live, it is now a part of your family. In fact, you know what? If you're going to take away Christopher Columbus, you can leave Spam. I want the word pet taken out of the dictionary. I don't like the word because it gives a bad connotation. It's not the 1950s. We don't leave Snoopy tied out to the doghouse anymore. We all know better. They are part of our family, whether you call them fur babies, brother, sister, whatever. They are not pets. They are part of your family, and you can't just return part of your family. If you can somehow return this animal that you adopted a year ago, I hate to say this, and probably most of the people watching are not this person, but you obviously have never truly loved, and you have not let that animal love you. Otherwise, that animal would never leave your home. So, I can't stand that. Please, obviously, you're probably not the person that did this, but if you know someone that's thinking about adopting, just make sure that they're aware that this is a lifetime commitment. This is a life that they are taking on. The good, the bad, the ugly, and the face cleaning. It all comes with the package. Now, I did want to add one last thing. I know this is long-winded today. We'll get to Deena, which is probably much prettier. We know that, and smarter than I am. But I want to actually, as 4th of July is coming up, cameraman, stop shaking your head. That is horrible. So what I would like to do, as 4th of July is coming up, we usually have fire restrictions up here in the White Mountains. It's just part of that time of year and everything else. So I want you to do something different this year. Instead of spending that money on fireworks, would you please spend it on a couple cans of dog food and drop it off Pet Allies, the Humane Society, instead of making something into a bad situation and crying about the fact that we have no fireworks or whatever. Let's make it a good situation. Donate some cans of dog food to the Humane Society.
Feed the hungry.
There you go. Hello, young lady.
Hi.
How are you today?
I'm good.
So how are things going down at the Humane Society?
So we're really busy. This is I always call this season Love is in the Air.
Okay.
And the kittens and the orphans and the moms coming in that are pregnant. No, dogs and cats both. So fosters is something that we are in dire need of.
Okay.
We have great fosters, we just don't have enough. Because when you take on, say, orphan kittens or puppies or even a mom with them, we're talking 8 to 10 weeks in that home.
Right.
So we definitely could use some more fosters.
Now, it's a really easy process. I mean, it's not like you just walk in and take the animals. There's a form and there's an application.
Absolutely.
And you make sure that everything's a good fit.
Right.
But you also take care of all the animals' expenses.
We do.
So
we supply them with everything. We do have some fosters that says, you know what, I'm going to do it and I'll take it as a tax donation. So they'll buy their own. But otherwise, we supply everything: the litter, the boxes, the dishes, the food, the milk supplement, whatever their need is, we supply it.
Now, you listed off 5 things that every animal needs.
Right.
And you have how many animals, plus or minus, at your shelter any given day?
100, roughly.
100.
On any given day.
On any given day.
Yeah.
So you can imagine the expense that occurs just keeping the animals happy. And then, of course, you've got the lights, the heater, the sewage, and everything else.
Absolutely.
It is, what a full operation it is there at the shelter.
Absolutely. A lot of people don't think of the cleaning that goes into that every day.
Right.
Because every animal gets clean dishes, clean bedding, clean toys, so that we can stop any disease before it gets to us. So we go through so much laundry soap, so much bleach, so much of our foaming agents that we use in every kennel every day. So it's nonstop. It cost us last year it cost us $1,818 a day to keep our organization going.
Wow. Now, there are things that people can do other than foster that can help with that large expense. What are some of those things they can do?
Well, they could donate money.
That's an obvious one.
That way we can get what we need when we need it. Of course, that's always, it helps.
Anytime.
Money is the universal language. But you know what? Even a gallon of bleach, if you're at the store and you can't get gallons, you get gallons, but no one else can get gallons, Mike. But if you're at the store and you're getting, laundry soap and bleach, stuff like that for your household dish soap, hey, if you want to pick up an extra one and bring it to us. All that stuff helps. One of probably the most important thing people can give us is their time.
Right.
Their time, whether it's you're a volunteer that's fostering or you're coming into our shelter and you're helping us every day with these animals. We have some volunteers that'll come in and they'll do laundry, they'll do dishes. We used to have some that would come in and help scrub kennels,
wow, exercise
the dogs, socialize the cats. I mean, there's just, and there's some paper things, there's some clerical things, and there's off-site events, so much that people can give of their time is the most valuable thing they can do for us.
I mean, yes, time is money, is the old saying.
Yeah.
And I mean, now this day and age, just thinking 1 hour saves the Humane Society and 2 man-hours of paid employees.
Right.
And then of course you can donate or volunteer there at the doghouse as well.
Absolutely.
And those gentlemen are great to work with.
Oh, they are. And there's a couple ladies there too,
okay,
and the lady volunteers. But they absolutely are. They do amazing things over at our doghouse. So, I am impressed every time I go in there every week. It doesn't matter what day I go, the place is so clean, so organized, and so well run. And everyone over there loves their jobs. Whether it's a paid position or it's a volunteer position.
From a small business owner's perspective, walking into part of your own operation,
right,
and being pleasantly surprised and happy with what you see, is a great feeling. And that does show that they love their jobs. They love what they're doing because they're always making it better.
Yeah, they are. It just amazes me. And you know, we can't do this without all the great donations we get.
Right.
Because everything over there is donated.
Now, you always say new or gently used. Mm-hmm. Why is that, and where is the line?
So just within the last couple of weeks, someone, like, maybe, I don't know if it was a teenager, you know how some teenagers just leave, it's like wall-to-wall clothing?
Yes.
Okay. So, you know, I was informed that everything in these bags that they brought them was dirty. We have no way to wash and dry clothes.
Oh, right.
Or sheets or anything else. So that's why I say gently used, you know. We need those items to be able to continue to support all these homeless animals over at the shelter, but we can't do anything if they're dirty.
Right.
You know, or if it's broke, or, you know, we've actually had people bring us one shoe.
No way.
Yes, you know, that's why I say it's like they just scoop it all up and put it in bags, you know, sometimes. And then we have some that take the time and they actually wash everything before they bring it to us.
Now that actually does more. I know a little more about the whole organization and also other aspects. Can you elaborate on why it costs the Humane Society when people drop off junk?
Well, because if it's not sellable, okay, you bring us one shoe, it's got to go in a trash.
Right.
Because there's not another shoe that's, you know.
No.
You bring us an electronic that doesn't work, and it's got to go in the trash.
Okay.
And we have to pay for that trash. You bring us or leave us unsellable furniture when we're not there, we have to haul it to the dump. Now we're talking man hours, we're talking gas, and we're talking the cost of dumping it at the dump.
Wow.
So that's why we ask for gently used. You know, if you wouldn't buy it, don't bring it.
I think that is a great way to phrase that.
You know,
if it's not,
and your idea of a treasure might be different than mine, and we get that. But I'm doing some real deep purging right now, and I look and I go, oh, I missed this shirt, and it's like, no, I don't need this shirt, you know. Or I'm looking and going, is there any stains on it? Because if there is stains on it, it's going into the rag pile, and it's not going to the doghouse.
That is the fun of spring cleaning. So remember, when you're doing your spring, I guess it's actually summer, isn't it?
No, it is still spring.
Is it spring?
Technically spring.
Until June 21st, we're still in spring. Gosh darn it.
That's right.
Do that spring cleaning and take it to the Doghouse Thrift Shop. Of course, please, really nice things only. And if you have some junk, then maybe drop it off at that corporate place. We'll see you in a couple moments with more Paw Prints on the Mountain. Hello and welcome back to Paw Prints on the Mountain, brought to you by the Humane Society of the White Mountains. I'm your host, Mike Bosley. We are going to continue talking with Mrs. Deena Pace. Hello, young lady.
Hi.
Now, we were just mentioning things that we had going there at the Doghouse Thrift Shop, which is the Humane Society's everyday fundraiser.
That's right.
But we have something super big, super exciting, and we're going to have it this year. Would you care to elaborate, young lady?
Well, we must be talking Happy Tales.
Yeah,
you know
girl.
what? We are so excited, Mike. We're really working on Happy Tales already. It's going to be August 28th. We're actually going to start an hour earlier this year.
Oh, wonderful.
So it'll be 11 to 4.
Okay.
No, 10 to 4.
I was about to say.
But now we're cutting ourselves an hour. 10 to 4.
10 to 4.
Gates will open at 10.
Okay.
And of course, we'll have a live auction, silent auction, blitz auction, raffles, adoptions, barbecue, the summer raffle, which we're selling tickets for right now, which is an amazing boat.
A boat?
$10 tickets.
$10 tickets.
And you may have some time to boat.
I may have some boating time coming up. Yes, I may.
Anyway, Happy Tales is our biggest fundraiser of the year, any single event. And it's just a great time. I mean, it's a great time. You know, you're at least one, if not the only auctioneer this year.
I hope that Barry comes and helps us. And yes, Barry Nix, please, if you know him, make sure and give him a little rustle that He's auctioneering this year with me. We've got great silent auction items.
Yes, and a dessert auction.
And a dessert auction.
Yes.
Yes. Can we not focus on the auctioneering and go back to the other items? Like there's an adoption pen, there's a thrift house shop.
Well, it's
the auctioneer's probably going to suck. No, I'm kidding.
No, we're not going to let him, so he's not.
Yes, no, we are going to do great things at Happy
We are going to do great things. You know what? Because everyone comes out and we have a great time.
Right.
And you know, everything that is auctioned that day is donated by the businesses in our community and by individuals. So just know that if you're a business, you're going to be hit up for a donation this year. You know, last year we didn't get to do it. This year we are going through with it. And I do want to say that I got with Charlie Clark's on our barbecue tickets, and they've actually raised our price this year.
Oh, everything's gone up.
But because we weren't able to do it last year, being the chair of it, I've decided we're keeping our price the same this year. Just come out, have a good time, spend your money, and know that it's going to help all these homeless animals.
You're telling me we're going to have 2021 barbecue at 2020 prices?
Yes.
Amazing. I guess it's actually like 2019 prices.
It is
isn't it?
20.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is sweet.
So we are not going to pass that along. We're going to absorb that this year.
Okay.
And then
did we approve this? Oh, you
did not. You did not. This is what happens when you put me in charge of being the chair.
That is why we put you in charge of being the chair.
You know what?
That's a great idea.
You know, Terry and I talked about it, and we decided we just needed people to be able to come and have a good time.
Right.
So.
And as we said in a previous show, there's food, there's pets, there's more food, there's stuff.
And
there's no reason not to come.
No, and it's in the orchard, so Charlie Clark's has their bar open. Now, we don't get that, although we do usually have a signature drink that we get part of.
Oh, we do?
Yeah, we've had Huckleberry Hounds and all that. No, Mike, now us as volunteers or workers there that day.
Okay.
Yeah.
The
Unless, of course,
Society,
the auction. Yeah, we're not allowed to have that drink till closing.
Have I been missing out of this the whole time?
No, no, you haven't. But
I heard they have free ice water there.
They do.
Yes, ooh, good stuff.
Yes, thanks, Mike.
The auctioneer's going to need free ice water.
The auctioneer's going to get a lot of it.
Yes, I'm going to need a lot of it.
So, but you know what? That's another volunteer opportunity, is to help with our fundraising.
That's right. That's right.
So before Happy Tales, another thing that we're getting really ready for, which is not very far off, is, of course, our yearly members meeting.
Yes.
That we missed out on that. We missed out on our 50-year anniversary party last year. So we're going to kind of combine them both.
Okay.
This year it's going to be June 19th at our shelter from 11 to 1. Check. Please join us. We're going to have free hot dogs, water, chips, and we may even get a cake that says 50+1.
Ooh, yes.
Because we missed it last year. And another thing is, so that everyone knows, if they want full tours of the shelter, because when you come in to adopt a pet, you're only going to see 20-some animals. You're not going to see that we have that many more dogs plus in the back.
Why is that?
Well, because they're not available for adoption yet, or they're waiting their turn. Sometimes we have quarantines with the police department or county. But we're going to be giving full tours that day so that you can see everything. And most people, if you want this tour, you know, we'll get it in groups. But most people don't realize actually how big we are. We actually have 4 buildings of dogs alone.
Right.
So, and then we have incoming cats, and we have our cat rooms, and we have cats at Pet Sense. And so anyway, we're really excited about that too.
What I love about when someone takes the full tour, you know, like you said, when someone comes to adopt, you see the dogs and you see the cats, but you don't get the full scope. And then once you take the tour, you see the size of the facility.
Right.
You see the 4 washers. You see all of the inner workings that, wow, it's mind-blowing how much the staff and what wonders they are and what wonders they do with all of this stuff.
You know, we love our staff and we love our volunteers. We can't do it without them. But I do have to say that we have amazing staff at both locations and over at our PAWS clinic that we do the low-cost spay and neuters. We just finished up the Arizona license plate grant.
Yep.
And hopefully I applied with Sparklight to see if we could get a grant to help our community with more spay and neuters.
That would be very awesome.
Yeah.
That's amazing how quick we go through that. There's really a large need in this community.
There is such a need. And we went through $7,500 since the first of the year, just helping the community with spay and neuters.
Wow.
So, and we want to be able to continue that.
And you only, do you get, it's like a partial, right? You give them a
So what
discount
happens?
when they do, we're out of it. But
Right. So when we have grant money, depending on how the grant's written, this one was written that if you have a cat, it's $25 to you. And then the grant pays the remainder of it.
Okay.
To the Paws Clinic.
Right.
So if you have a dog, it's only $35.
Wow.
To you, and
Right.
then the grant pays the remainder. And then while you're there at our Paws Clinic, they can also do your yearly vaccinations, rabies, microchip, toenail trims, all that kind of stuff. Of course, you have to pay extra for that. But when you're saving the kind of money you are by using our low-cost spay and neuter clinic.
And yes, they did a wonderful job. I just finally had Kaluta spayed, and they were phenomenal. The intake process, super easy, little paperwork, move it on. And at that point, we were done with the license plate, but even so, it was still really low cost.
Yes.
I have shopped around. I do have my normal vet, and I shopped around a little bit. I'm a frugal guy from time to time, and it was amazing. Not only was the Humane Society the lowest in general, but the amount of care that was taken was top notch.
Thank you. You know what? We've got an amazing crew there, and Dr. Helser's been with us close to 20 years, I think.
Wow.
And she is an amazing doctor. You know, we have good doctors up here. You know, we really do. These animals are very lucky. You know, my mom she lives down in Coolidge, and she just took her cat to Casa Grande to have it spayed. And she goes, I go, Mom, how much did it cost you? Because I, honest to gosh, don't know what it's costing. And she goes, I'm really happy. It was $175. And I went, what? Ours is $75,
All right.
you know, for a cat spay. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'm glad you're happy. It's not that bad, you know,
Right.
but, you know, so I'm just amazed that, and I'm very glad that we're there to help the community.
Right.
You know, and as long as we can, we're going to continue to look for grants to help them. Because, you know, in the long run, it not only saves some cancers that your pets can get,
Right.
you know, it helps keep those males home. You know, and like I say, love is in the air right now. On Lost and Found, there's stray animals all the time. You know, spay and neuter, spay and neuter, spay and neuter. We've got a dog right now that was turned into us that we're doing mammary gland cancer removal on.
Jeez.
And these are just, I mean, people think that this is not a real thing. It's a real thing.
And that's yet another expense that we add on top of the 5, 6, 9 things we were talking about earlier in the show.
The extra medical.
Extra to make sure the dogs are moving on with a better quality of life than when they came to the Humane Society.
Right. Do I have time to tell you a story about a dog named Sylvia, a puppy?
Okay.
So someone turned in a litter of 5 pups, pit bull mixes, and they were young, and we had all of them got adopted. We took them over for their surgery, and Dr. Helser listened to Sylvie's heart. She does all of the animals, and she said, "This puppy has a grade 5 out of 6 heart murmur. This is not good." So we knew that we don't have a lot of funds for that extra medical. We checked with all the vets up here. None of them could do an echocardiogram on her or a cardiac ultrasound. And so I reached out to a contact at Arizona Gives, Dr. Steve Hansen, and he gave me a referral or, you know, information, and I got in with Dr. Page down in Phoenix. So Terry and I took this puppy down so that we knew how we could treat her. We know that without heart surgery, she's not going to have a long life.
Right.
And we also know that we can't afford to put $4,000 or $5,000 into one when we have so many. So we got her down there, and Dr. Page did the echocardiogram and everything, and he called me on the phone. We were shopping. We had to drop her off. And he said, he goes, she does need heart surgery. It's between $4,000 and $5,000. We'd put a balloon in there and, open everything up. And he goes, it's a bad one. It is the grade 5. And he said, do you ever use foster homes? And I said, of course we use foster homes. She's in a foster now. And he goes, well, being down here, it's too far away, isn't it? And I'm going, what are you getting at? And he said, I really love this puppy. And he said, would you consider letting me foster her? And if it works with my dynamic at home, I will adopt her.
Oh.
So he has now adopted Sylvie. And so Sylvie will have her surgery and be able to live out her life and get everything she needs from that doctor.
That is
really, miracles happen like that.
Right.
And we feel very blessed that we were granted that miracle for Sylvie.
If you would like to help with miracles like that, hey, let me remind you, there is another opportunity. We're going to be at the 4th of July Freedom Parade in Sholo. We're looking for volunteers to carry money cans, but once you see the big floppy dog and all the volunteers with money cans, drop in a couple bucks, please. Also, buy some dog food instead of fireworks. That's going to do it for us this time. We'll see you next time. Thank you very much, everybody. For Deena Pace, I'm Mike Bosley.